In this episode of Dolce Vita, nourish your sports car desire with speed, power, and head-turning great looks.
Eat like the French and have a taste of mouth-watering seasonal dishes.
Polish your suit look with some essential accessories.
And explore the true meaning of having a passion for photography.
For every automotive aficionado, it's inevitable to come to a point where he or she is eyeing on exotic cars. But how we define exotic car isn't that easy though. Some say it must be built in limited numbers. Others think the country of origin is vitally important. Well, the definition of exotic car is all of these and also none of these. And for French car enthusiasts, they have a unique perspective on supercars. What makes French exotic cars stand out, in your opinion?
French supercar is said to be the ultimate combination of technology, design, and comfort. The founder was born in Milan, but the French brand is famously known for combining German engineering, Italian craftsmanship, and French luxury.
Apart from having top speed power, what are some of the other elements that you think an exotic car should have?
Apart from having top speed power, it's all about the design. French supercars include sophisticated aerodynamic body components, dual-tone body colors, and the crease extend from the center, the front, to the rear. Echo the brand heritage. This saddle-shaped grille, one of its signature designs with more than 100 years of history.
Design is the crucial element in determining the exotic car world. And how is the French different from the others in terms of manufacturing?
What makes French supercar special? It's because it's hand-built piece by piece. Taking the car frame and body as an example, they are both made with carbon fiber. With 6 layers of transparent coating, its body is glamorous. Its aluminum C-shaped feature line is mounted from the solid materials and said to be the longest piece of aluminum metal component in the automotive industry. There is no plastic component in its interior. Every part is made of high-quality materials such as metal and carbon fiber, creating a luxurious and elegant environment.
Let's be more mechanical. What's the advantages of a mid-engine layout?
The mid-engine puts the driver and the engine's weight in the middle of the car for better cornering performance. By placing the engine behind the driver's seat allows a smooth performance to reduce the wind resistance. The W16 engine with 4 turbochargers delivers 1,500 horsepower and accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers in 2.4 seconds onto a top speed of 420 kilometers per hour.
No matter how are you going to define the characteristics of an exotic car, there's one thing that we can all agree on. An exotic car can always make your head turn.
Knowing what you enjoy the most about life is extremely important. And certainly, there are many ways you can positively influence the quality of your life. Take dining, for example. What I think of a good dining experience goes far beyond good food. The atmosphere and the ambience of the restaurant need to be taken into account as well. And from my experience, French dining almost never disappoints.
What do I tend to pursue in food choices? Simple, fresh, and seasonal, which goes hand in hand with the cooking style of the French. French chefs are famously known for cooking with the freshest ingredients, as using seasonal ingredients is the rule of thumb when it comes to French cooking, and that is why French cuisine has a special place in my heart.
So in France, for me, it's very important the seasonal ingredients, because I believe we like to eat well, and then ingredients are always at best when they are in season. It's as well, it's cheaper and it's better. It's great in France. Most people still go to the local market, and it's amazing to see the color change with every season. So every season brings new item, which is very good. I really enjoy the white asparagus because it brings the end of the winter. It's the first of the spring vegetable to come out. So you know you thrive the winter and you go with the spring. So it's always a very special moment. We poach them, so when we do, I like to use most of my ingredients. So I use the peel to make a white asparagus stock. Then I poach my asparagus in that asparagus stock. And then after we prepare with a confit egg yolk and some caviar. I believe all our dishes showcase seasonal produce. I really enjoy the veal cheek, so we cook it like a veal blanquette, which is a very classical French, but we swapped the original Paris mushroom for some Morels mushroom, which the season just started as well. Veal cheek, we really use like a basic blanquette technique, so basically slow poached in veal stock for about 6 hours until they are nice and soft and tender. After, we just use the stock to make the sauce, but we'll put it in a siphon, like an espuma, to make it a bit more lighter and a bit more modern.
Spring is the season for harvest, whether it's the ivory-hued asparagus or the buttery veal cheek blanquette. This season is right for chefs to create beautifully produce-driven dishes.
What many people don't know is that spring is also a time of abundance for ocean bounty. So how can we not include some exquisite seafood dishes into our meal today? Seafood is a popular element of French cooking, and it's easy to find fresh fish in many coastal areas of France. So it comes as no surprise that we have this classic fish dish on the menu. Famously known to be enjoyed from spring to fall, lemon sole is incredibly fresh and tasty during this period. And this time, the chef used the slow cook method to prepare this lemon sole. Served with orange, daikon and dill, it is satisfaction in every bite.
Personally, I'm more into this classic French pigeon dish. What surprises me the most is that the meat comes with a strong smoky flavor, and on top of that, the meat is perfectly cooked to achieve a golden brown finish with a lovely pink middle. Each bite is juicy and packed with rich flavor. It goes really well with Jerusalem artichoke ravioli. What an incredible sensation!
Well, this seasonal meal has to end with a gorgeous dessert, don't you think, Joyce?
Unlike the normal crispy hollow pastry balls filled with custard or cream, then drizzled with chocolate, this profiterole is a unique version that is created by Chef O'Helly.
And the dessert also comes with vanilla ice cream, dark chocolate, and hazelnuts. It's everything you could dream for in a dessert. All of the ingredients just complement each other so perfectly. What a great way to complete this French culinary journey. Eating seasonally is an important part of everyday French life. But what surprises me is that, just like fruits and veggies, cheeses have seasons too.
Oh really? Then I've got to follow you on a cheese journey next time. Then I'll know exactly what you're talking about.
After the break, see how to look better in a suit.
And appreciate the beauty of high-end cameras.
I sometimes think of dressing up as a blockbuster movie. If the blazer and the suit pants are the main characters, then accessories would be the supporting roles. In my opinion, dressing up dapper isn't just how well a suit fits, it's also getting all the small details right to pull off the look as a whole. How many of us know the exact rules behind all the details? Well, let's start with the tie. Picking and tying a proper necktie is not unlike making art. To pick the best tie that suits your look, knowing materials and textures, as well as the purpose for dressing up, are essential.
Viewed as the epitome of casual dapper, the rise of the knitted tie has been in sync with the evolution of business casual attire. It can always add a dash of boldness without looking too loud or too formal.
Many people love the casual and chill look of knitted ties. You can easily spruce up a semi-casual ensemble by pairing a knit tie with a checkered blazer.
When it comes to dressing up for a formal occasion, a proper necktie will contribute to your overall appearance.
Silk ties are known to be the perfect go-to accessory for formal business settings, as silk ties not only bring a sense of luxury, but also come in a wide variety of colors and patterns. Silk ties are undoubtedly something that can diversify a gentleman's wardrobe. If you wear a necktie every day, you're probably traditional, stylish, but a little bit conservative. These days, more and more guys, especially the creative ones or guys who want to push the envelopes, are opting for the bow tie to make a statement and to add a little bit of flair. But before you rush out to get a whole bunch of bow ties, you should ask yourself one question. What are the basic principles of wearing a bow tie? A bow tie can add a splash of class, but it's not always easy to pull off this sartorial accessory. First of all, you'll need to pay attention to matching tones when you dress.
A checkered bow tie can add a bit of flair into your suit attire. Like the grey suit here, since grey is a neutral color, so you have rooms to play with something a little bolder than a traditional solid.
But if you're going to attend a black tie event, naturally you'd go for a tux. Choose a bow tie color that matches the suit's lapel. Keep one thing in mind though, wearing a self-tie bow tie will set you apart, so make sure you learn how to tie one before your next black tie event. We've talked about neckties, we've talked about bow ties, so you're probably wondering, well, those are two of the main accessories, what's a third? You know what? I love pocket squares too. But when and how do we wear a pocket square?
Pocket squares can turn your usual suit into a sartorial stunner. For tux, you can go for the square fold when you want maximum formality and understated elegance, as the straight thin folded edge keeps with the streamlined and straightforward elements of proper black tie attire.
If the square fold is too simple for you, then the flower fold is going to be a great option for practicing your technique. It requires finesse to get it right until it really looks like a flower. Cinch the fabric down to hold it in place. Don't forget, practice makes perfect.
The 4-point pocket square fold is a striking, sophisticated style that makes all the difference. Fold it up slightly to the left and right respectively. Then fold the bottom part up to create this classic yet stylish pocket square fold.
You can learn a lot from mastering the art of dressing up. As the saying goes, when you abbreviate your learning, you abbreviate your growth. Expand your knowledge, and you'll keep growing taller and fatter than your limitations. When it comes to dressing, admittedly, a lot of us tend to follow trends. We wear whatever is in vogue at the time or what everyone else is wearing. But if you always follow the crowd, you'll end up stifling your creativity and ultimately your individuality.
One of the most prominent features of our latest smartphone design is undoubtedly the camera. There are so many fascinating functions, such as the ultra-wide lens, facial recognition, electronic filters, you name it. Modern technology has really made many of us amateur photographers. And in the era of digital photography, wouldn't it be nice to step back a little and truly understand photography through learning the history of cameras, as well as the ever-changing visual culture?
When it comes to cameras and photography, who better to talk to than Douglas So? He's one of the most prolific camera collectors in town who has a strong passion for rare cameras and all things nostalgic.
Hi Douglas. I understand that this is your third gallery space. Could you tell us a bit more about the concept?
Yes, we aspire to be the best and the most beautiful vintage camera shop in the world, especially inside this elegant Grade 1 heritage hotel. And we also want to source different models, vintage models, special editions from different countries and bring them to Hong Kong, for our customers. We also want to provide a homey, cozy, and then warm space, for customers and collectors to come not just to shop for their toys, but also to share their knowledge and to increase their appreciation for vintage cameras and photography.
So if you had to pick a few collectibles that have a special place in your heart, which would it be?
This is a camera which was released in the year 2004. The camera is special because many of the parts in this camera, they were made from solid titanium. And it's very difficult to make solid titanium cameras because it normally takes about 5 times the difficulties and time to produce one compared to a normal one. So for this one, only 50 sets were produced and distributed worldwide. And there's another one which is also especially for Lenny Kravitz's fans. Many of us are his fans because he's really a music legend. And this is a camera which was made in collaboration with him. He likes black and white photography. So the manufacturer actually produced a black and white camera dedicated to Lenny Kravitz. And it's also the first time that this manufacturer made a brown color camera.
Yeah, it looks very fashionable.
Yes, also with vegan leather. So, so in many ways, this is the first time that this type of camera is produced. And this one also has a very special serial number, which is number 8.
Ah, lucky number.
Yes, which is also one of our missions is to find all these lucky number serial special editions to bring them to Hong Kong. Aside from these cameras, we also have very special photography-related decorations in the shop. For example, we have a huge gold camera display, which is unique. There's only one in the world made by this Chinese artist. And then there's one which is bigger than that one, and it is now in the home of Jay-Z and Beyonce. So when we did the renovation for the shop, we discovered that there was a wall which was different from all other walls. And then it looks old, but at the same time, it has some very interesting patterns on it. And when we looked at it, we found out with the help of experts that that wall was actually from the 1930s. And it was in an Art Deco motif decoration. So we decided to preserve the wall, and then now this is part of the shop. And then we're very happy to have this special vintage element in it because it goes well with all the cameras that we offer in the shop.
Speaking of vintage cameras, could you share with us some tips on how to maintain them in a good condition?
Well, basically, if you are a lover of collectible vintage cameras, you want to create an ideal home for your cameras, meaning that, temperature control, humidity control, they are essential. At the same time, you have to exercise your cameras just like human beings to ensure that they're in good health. So use them from time to time, and when you carry them out, make sure that you have very nice protective pouches, which would ensure that they are safe throughout their time they are outside.
Modern photography, what style stands out to you the most?
There are many different styles, but the style I like most is surrealism. I believe that for photography, it has to be something not just striking to your eye, but it should be an artwork which speaks to you, which has a meaning to you, and which continues to engage you in a dialogue. For me, good photography always comprises a timelessness element, meaning that when you look at it at different times in different eras, the photography will speak to you or speak to the audience in a different ways. It will always remain relevant.
For beginners who are just exploring the journey of photography, what tips would you give them?
Practice. I think the most important thing is you have to spend time taking photographs. And not only should you take photographs, you should look at your photographs. You should print your photographs so that you can look at the details, and then you learn, what you've done right and what you should improve the next time.
That's why they always say practice makes perfect.
Exactly.
There are many ways to take better pictures. Besides arming yourself with a nice camera, exposing yourself to as many good images and photographers as possible can also be a great way. That's all the time we have for this week's episode. If you want to find out more about what we have introduced, remember to log on to our website.
In the coming weeks ahead, we'll continue our sweet journey. Besides having a taste of Cantonese fine dining with a modern twist, we'll also take a look at Japanese leatherwork that's gained a lot of international attention. Give yourself a full-body workout through mixed martial arts and see how MMA has changed over the years. And see how Chinese painting has become a new way of meditation. Join us again next time!